I mean, I always knew that I was going to do something in the arts field. I mean, as a kid, like every kid, you go back and forth on things you want to do. You know, one time I wanted to become a vet, I think, because I just really liked animals. But ultimately, I always knew I would do something creative because I was always a weird, creative little child. So I really just kept going with that. And while there were times I did kind of worry, you know, with whether or not I was good enough. Ultimately, I didn't really worry too much about it because I just worried about whether or not I was doing what I wanted to do. And I got a lot of flack for certain things, and I pushed myself back a little bit.
When you say flack, from your peers?
From peers, yeah, in school and out of school. I got a lot of just crap from people about, you know, the way I dressed, how I looked in general, the fact that I actually took a lot of lower level classes. So they were like, oh, you're not smart enough for this, blah, 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 you know. People are always sort of putting down my intelligence, which irritated me so much, and I kind of used that as a little bit of fuel to push myself even further. And of course, people put down my art too, said this is stupid, or your stories are stupid, this is lame, blah blah blah. And I did hold myself back because of that. You know, I probably could be further than I am now if I had taken initiative earlier. Unfortunately, due to a lot of the bullying I experienced, I ended up developing anxiety disorder. I do have, I believe, sort of 2 anxiety disorders, but and also depression, and that held me back a lot, and I had to actually be treated for that. And I did end up having to switch schools. I switched schools, well, once and then sort of twice because I had switched to doing a half home, half online, on campus kind of thing. It was with the same second school, but at the same time, it wasn't full time at that school.
You had to be in the building.
Yeah, I did not have to be in the building, and that helped a lot because my anxiety was so bad I was getting panic attacks in school because I was so paranoid of something was going to happen to me due to all the things that were going on in school, you know, and a lot of my friends did not even know about it, you know, and when I did try to tell them, they were like, oh, what? I don't think that happened, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, really? You know, and I was sort of in a little bit of a crunch in that when I tried to explain to people what was going on, or people as in fellow students, if they would kind of just laugh it off, or, you know, not really give me a chance to explain myself, which I thought was weird. I'm like, okay, you're putting rumors around about a person that you're not even letting them explain their side of the story. I'm like, if you're going to do that,
at least give you a chance to speak.
The first person you should ask would be the person
that you're talking about.
But apparently it doesn't work that way. So
sort of like the way the world works out.
Yeah,
I have an opinion, but I'm not going to ask you.
Yeah, yeah, and it after all that was said and done, I had taken a gap year, and that was kind of the period where I was like, okay, I need to pull myself together and figure out what I really wanted. Yeah, it was my thinking year. It was this past year, and I eventually came up with what I wanted to do. So and I had a really big experience New Year's. I had actually had an anxiety attack so bad that I was hospitalized for it. And while staying in the hospital, I have no idea what happened to me during that hospital stay overnight. But, and it's just, I kind of had a revelation after that and started working on new things, coming up with all this new stuff and, you know, new content that I wasn't coming up with before. And I was able to come to terms with what I really wanted to do and come to terms with the fact that, you know, I am myself ultimately, and I kind of stopped caring about, you know, trying to appear as this pretty girl BS. But
you are pretty.
I mean, no, it's just like I stopped caring about it because I realized if I really wanted to do something and innovate, I'm going to have to throw all of that spoon-fed crap out. I can't have that. Yeah, and I need something to pull in something new. So I stopped doing something to try to please people, which ultimately wasn't pleasing people at all, but in the first place. But now I am more at terms with the fact that, you know, I'm always gonna be this way. You know, I like wearing wigs and looking like this.
We like you like
We like you like that. Wouldn't change a thing.
But yeah, it's been an experience overall. So
Yes,
luckily,
the joy of it is there was a door, you walked through the door, and now you're heading off to college.
Yes, so
Without us.
hopefully to do bigger things.
Yes,
Oh, for
we know,
sure.
We know for
For
sure. You're
sure.
gonna make really good things.
Yeah.
Let's play you some more music from George Howard's Old School. Do I ever cross your mind? Right here on Creative Couple People Radio.